Welcome, traveler. I am Incandescent Kiki, also known as Kiki Mora. This is just a cozy summer video about what I've been up to recently. Summer is my favorite season, and usually it's the time where I feel my best. This year has been a little bit different. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been suffering from very bad chronic migraines and just all sorts of other crazy things. So I've been doing my best to find the peace and comfort where I can in the summertime. We have 2 patches of raspberry bushes where I currently live, so for a couple weeks out of the year, I just go outside and I pick raspberries every day. This is something that I enjoy doing. I put on an audiobook or some music, and I just sit outside where it's warm, hopefully not in direct sun, and pick the berries. This year has been a bit odd for many reasons, and I know that I'm not alone in feeling that way. This year has been such a strange combination of really amazing things and just really difficult things for me. So I like having moments like this where I can kind of just decompress, think about nothing, and pick berries. These bushes on the other side of the house are actually a different kind of raspberry. The ones I was just picking look like this, and the ones from these bushes are a little bit smaller and more bubbly looking. They're a little more round. They taste pretty similar. I would say the first one I showed might taste a little bit better, and I actually don't know the specific name for each type of raspberry, so if you know, please let me know. It's kind of crazy and also very satisfying to see how much the basket fills up in just a short period of time picking raspberries outside. I probably spent about, I don't know, maybe less than an hour today, and there were so many. I always wash the berries after I pick them just to make sure I get any of the bugs or dirt off of them that might be hanging around. What I picked in this day filled up a whole container, and as I mentioned, I pick them every day for a couple of weeks, so just wait till you see how many are in the refrigerator. Very many. I had grand plans of doing stuff with these berries, but we'll get back to that later. Another project that I filmed is a simple one. It's just waterproofing a cloak. I tested it out on these shoes. I just bought a waterproofing liquid and it worked really well, so I decided to use the rest of it on this cloak. I need a waterproof cloak. It's not going to be completely waterproof, but it's going to be better. This is a vegan wool cloak that I got off Amazon. I'm going to Beekaleen this year, which is the largest LARP in North America. I've never been to a LARP before. I'm very excited. It rains a lot there, so I'll be making a video and we'll see how this thing holds up. I had another day of picking berries, but this one was a little bit different. I picked some raspberries, all of the ripe ones for this day, and I traded them to my neighbor in order to pick some of her red currants. I really love red currants. I usually don't see them in the store, so when she said we could do a trade, I was very excited. Whenever I go to Europe, they usually sell the red currants in little crates with like the strawberries and blueberries and things, and I just don't ever see them sold like that here. Maybe I'm not going to the right places, but I was so happy to have these to snack on because I really love them. If you've never had one before, they're almost like sour grapes and pomegranate seeds had a child. In my Q&A video, I talked about my jobs, which I have 2 of, not including my own social media. So when I work from home, I like to sit outside, and I had a good time snacking on these berries, but I just like to sit out and watch all of the critters that live in the yard. There are a lot right now. We haven't named the birds, but we have several squirrels. Their names are Orville and Trixie, after Orville Peck and Trixie Mattel. And we leave little nuts out in a little dish kind of screwed onto the side of the fence, which they really love. And it's very fun because they actually will get pretty close to us. We have recently discovered at least 2, maybe 3 mice, which have not been named yet. So if you have ideas, let me know. And we also discovered that there is a weasel living in my yard, and I've named her Linda. During the summer, we usually go to Nick's grandparents' house a few times for parties and things, and I absolutely love their yard, looking at all the crops and plants and flowers that they have growing around. I dream of having a yard like this, even though I know it's going to be a ton of effort if I ever get one. Remember how I mentioned having grand plans for these berries? Well, it's a good thing I was snacking on them while they were in the fridge, because I actually cut my hand open and was not able to do anything with them, so most of them went bad. But after my hand had healed for a couple days, my friends wanted to go to the butterfly biosphere with me, which I've always wanted to go to. It was really cool being able to see them up close and see all the different types and learn about them. And we had a fun time trying our very best to get them to land on us, which we ended up having more success at than I had initially anticipated. I think this is the first time I've ever had a butterfly on my face, and it is way more ticklish than I thought it would be. It's hard to keep your eyes open. They're fluttering around so much. But another thing I really love about the butterfly biosphere is there's all these pretty bugs that they have hanging on the wall. And I have one little moth in my house, but I definitely want more after seeing all of these beautiful bugs. They also had some other interesting live bugs that we got to see, like this tarantula, and then these little beetles, which I cannot remember what kind they are. This beetle was probably my favorite. I can't remember what kind he was either, but apparently they can cut off a chunk of your finger if you stick one between their horns. So don't do that if you ever see one of these. We also got to look at some bugs through a microscope, which I found very cool. Not exactly sure what critter lived in here, but jealous of his house. We finished off this day by visiting the little gardens surrounding the building. And honestly, if there's a takeaway from this video, I just hope that you don't compare yourself to what you see online. These videos were from 4 separate days out of a month where I felt good enough to film and actually like leaving my house and going to do something. If you've been having a similar experience this summer, or for any season for that matter, I hope you're gentle with yourself because things will change.